Sounds good. Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Akiyam. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. I would also like to give a double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. I would also like to say peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000 men of Israel, which consists of the servants, the prophets, whom have been ordained since the foundations of this earth to sing this new song, which comes in the form of this gospel, which would be preached throughout all four corners of this earth and rest upon the ears of the innumerable multitude, men, women, and children of Israel, who may be scattered throughout all four corners of this earth. Shalom. Hey, Shalom, beloved Akiam and Akwab. It's just Bayan, back again, through the spirit and power and glory and grace of our power, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And I just wanted to touch on some information pretty much regarding this outage that took place earlier this morning. I was actually having an issue with the AM live stream, and I couldn't figure out why. But needless to say, I ended up working around it by utilizing an app, a KJV app, because I was using it from offline, the regular online KJV. But needless to say, KJV was knocked out. Good News Bible was knocked out. Etymology Online was knocked out. All right, and various other sites were knocked out. Blue Letter did work, but for the sake of the lesson, I needed the Apocrypha. But needless to say, I ended up finding out what was causing that issue, and that's that. As you can see, the thumbnail is actually from an article I found. All right, and it's actually due to Cloudflare. I guess Cloudflare ended up going down. There was an outage, and it looks like it was actually global. All right. Now, why I'm sounding the trumpet on this one is because ultimately we do know that Esau is pursuing a global agenda, right, in the form of data centers that he's erecting all over Babylon the Great, and that he already has established throughout other countries in efforts to bring forth that Revelations 13:16. All right, there was an article not too long ago pretty much mentioning how these data centers, they pull a lot of load. They pull a lot of energy, right? And what they're doing is they're tapping into the grid, all right, with these data centers. And it was told by specialists that within a year or two, we could suffer from major blackouts. All right, and I'm just speaking as a man. It looks like this could be, it could be starting to show its ugly head now. All right, but needless to say, hey, you already know, we're not ignorant, of any matter, small or great, as scriptures say. Let me get that real quick. In the book of, as a matter of fact, let me grab this instead. Let me grab, bear with me. Bear with me, Akiyam. This tablet's a little delayed. Salakia. Let me see here. I want to go here. The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9 and verse 1, and it reads, "He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself." All right. And how we do that is through prophecy. All right. Where what we're doing is we're taking a broad scope, all right, of every event, of every scenario that's taking place on earth, right? And we're looking at it through the lens of prophecy. All right, this is how we're measuring the times diligently, man. All right, look, and when thou seest part of the signs past which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that at the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made, man. All right, and part of measuring the time diligently is by not being ignorant, all right, of any matter. Small or great. Let's go grab that now. Right? Sirach 15 and 5, Ecclesiasticus. Is that what I wanted? I think it's 5 and 15. The book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as the book of Sirach, chapter 5 and verse 15. And it reads, be not ignorant of anything, right, in a great matter or a small. All right, and when you get this word, now we know what the word ignorant means, but let's just get it in. Let's get the root of it, right? It says what? Under an adjective, right? It says lacking wisdom or knowledge. Look at unaware. All right, unaware. All right, and you could be unaware of something because you're not paying attention to it, right? Look at not knowing, right? Not to know, to be unacquainted, misunderstanding. When you look at this word ignorant, all right, the first half of the word is ignore. All right, and if you're ignoring something, there's a verb down here for ignore. It says to be unaware. Look at take no notice of or disregard. All right, and this is not what the servants of the Lord are going to do. All right, the true men that have been sent are going to take everything in retrospect, all right, and narrow it down to prophecy, okay, and come to a conclusion, all right, that at the end of the day, hey, prophecy's moving. You see, and at the end of the day, we do know prophetically that the lights are going to go out in Babylon. The lights are going to go out in Babylon. The famine of the word is coming. You see, this is a reality. This is prophecy. Now, what I want to do real quick is I want to get this article. Now, this article is from CNBC. All right. Now, it's a commercial source, but hey, you know, when necessary, we'll use any avenue, you know, necessary to make the point. But needless to say, the title reads, Cloudflare says outage that hit X, ChatGPT, and other sites is resolved. Oh, yeah, ChatGPT was down as well. Right? It says Cloudflare was hit by an outage that knocked several major websites and services offline for several hours. OpenAI's like ChatGPT, e-commerce platform, Shopify, and Elon Musk's social media platform X were among the sites impacted by the Cloudflare issues. Right? A Cloudflare spokesperson said the company has identified the root cause of the outage, noting that there's no evidence it was caused by an attack or malicious activity. Then what caused it then? Of course, they're not going to tell us. Right? Because the chances are they already did. You know how Esau does. Esau plays games. All right? It was probably due to malicious activity. All right? Or some type of a cyber attack. Right? Look. Let's get a little more. Internet infrastructure company Cloudflare was hit by an outage on Tuesday, knocking several major websites offline for global users. Many sites came back online within a few hours. In an update to its status page around 9:57 a.m. ET time, Cloudflare said it had implemented a fix to resolve the outage, though it noted some users may still experience issues accessing its online dashboard. Now, what I did was I searched up what part of the country was affected by the Cloudflare attack, right? And specifically in Babylon, you had Jersey, New York, Chicago, and it says Philly. It's not mentioned in Boston, but Boston was affected. I'm in Boston. It was affected. All right, you Aki Amanakwa that were on my live stream the first 2 times over, it took 3 tries to get it going. Okay, the first time was a no-go. Second time, I still had issues, and I had to, come back. But needless to say, yeah, man. So the Spirit told me to, sound the alarm because you got brothers in Cali. We got brothers all up in the Northwest, the South, right? The Southwest. Like, them brothers probably won't even know what happened. So here we go. Sound the alarm. There was an outage out here, a brief outage. All right, over here in the northeast of Babylon. All right, so you better love Aki Amanakwa are aware of that. So you can pretty much, keep your eye keen on prophecy. Hey, things are happening. You know, and then the brother, I believe it was Ayashamath, he had mentioned to me he had mentioned during the live stream, he said, you know, it's good to report on things that are happening in your area. Oh yeah, everything's good, definitely. The water for that. But yeah, the brother Ayashamath, he had mentioned in one of his live streams some time ago, it's good to, you know, sound the alarm on what's happening in your area, man. You know, because what's happening in your area may not be happening, you know, 1,000 miles away, you know, or more in Babylon, you know. So you sound the alarm, you know, so the body can have a perspective, you know, of what's going on, you know, because Esau is moving. He's being very sneaky about what he's doing. All right. And ultimately, prophecies are walking him down, you know. But yeah, so Jersey, New York, Chicago, and Philly, right, were explicitly mentioned due to impact services, right? Internet access, online services, and transit systems were interrupted, all right, throughout the country and internationally, man. All right. So it went down. It went down briefly. All right. But what about when this happens for any time, for any time of longevity, man? These people are going to lose their shit. You see? But for those of us that are watching, it's going to be anticipated. Why? Let me go get this real quick. I'm just going through the spirit. Let's go get this right here real quick. And then I want to make a point. The book of Proverbs, chapter 22 and verse 3, and it reads, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. When you foresee something, you see it off into the distance. All right? You see it before you get there or before it comes to you. You already seen it. You foreseen it. You see? So when it comes to the times we're coming into some evil. We're already in evil times, man. I got this judgment video, Lord willing, I'm going to be able to tackle tonight. Lord willing. I might do it pre-record. I think I'm going to do it a pre-record. I can get to it tonight. All right? Of a judgment video that went down. All right? Which is echoing the evil times we're in, man. We're in some evil times. That juice done kicked in on these people, man. All right? These people are unpredictable, man. All right? Anything can happen. All right? The times we're living in, man. All right? Anyways, Proverbs 22 and 3, and it reads, a prudent man foreseeth the evil, right? A wise man, a prudent man foreseeth the evil, right? And hideth himself, man. How do you hide yourself? Under the shadow of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai's wings, man. You hide yourself in this truth. You hide yourself within the counsel of the Lord. Okay? You hide yourself within the name of the Lord. All right, let's go. But the simple pass on and are punished, bro. And that's going to happen to the multitude, all right, of the inhabitants of this earth, specifically here in Babylon. Okay? Talking to 2/3 of you niggas. You see? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right? You simple. You didn't want to repent. You didn't want to stop. And now you're going to get devoured by prophecy. But anyways, right? So let's go here real quick. All right? Because I had a moment of despair, man. I couldn't get on KJV, you know, and it just pretty much foreshadowed how it's gonna be when these lights go out, man. And when this truth is gone, it's gone. All right, when this takes place, it's over. The book of Amos, chapter 8, and verse 11, and it reads, behold, the days come, saith the Lord power, Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst of water. That's going to happen. Just don't get this twisted right here. That's gonna happen. But there's a point being made in this precept, right? Because a true famine is gonna come. Hence, Scripture says, many shall perish of famine in the earth, man. And those that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. But anyways, let's continue on. But of hearing the words of the Yahweh, right? And, you know, honestly, you truly don't know how refreshing it is to hear these lessons, man, until you find yourself in a position where you can't. I was listening to the beloved brother Isaiah's video yesterday. He was talking about how he had forgot his headphones, man. Hey, we been there, we been there. I know that feeling, bro. Because I'm on the same tip. When I'm at work, I have my headphones in all day. And what am I doing? I'm jumping from lesson to live stream, from live stream to lesson. Lesson to live stream to live stream. And it's beautiful, bro. And you just be full of the spirit. You feel alive. But F around and forget your headphones, man. Man, I know that feeling, brother. I know that feeling, man. I could relate to what you experienced that day, man. And then when you leave work, you just don't feel like yourself. You feel like a mortal, man. You feel through. You know, you don't feel the spirit. But needless to say, yeah, man. So when this thing comes into its perfection and the Lord takes away this word, and then there's no access to it, man. When you truly can't access it, you can't access the man of the Lord. Hey, that's when Jay's gonna realize they done effed up. All right, because you're gonna see how valuable this word truly was. Because everything that was being said, you're gonna be seeing it with your own eyes take place. Hence, the famine of the word. Okay, and everything that comes with that. All right, the scourges, the calamities, the teeth of wild beasts, the pestilence, the UN troops, the FEMA detention centers, man. All right, the civil unrest. Okay, the race wars, the sex wars, the political wars, civil war. You're gonna experience it all, and you're gonna realize that we weren't tripping. Okay, then you're gonna be trying to inquire. Then it's gonna be too late for you. Look, and they shall wander. Hey, right here, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord Yahweh, and shall not find it, man. Okay, you're going to be going to old camp locations that you know where the brothers be at. You're going to be searching online. All you're going to be getting is this when you search online. This is all you're going to be seeing. You search online. That's all you're going to be getting. You're going to be getting that pop-up right there. You're going to be getting that pop-up right there. Let me see if y'all can see that. There you go. That's the pop-up you're going to be getting when you try to search for YouTube. All right? You're going to be asked out. All right? That's going to be the I told you so moment. Right? And this is the reality of the times that we're in. Right? Let's continue on. The book of Amos, chapter 8, and verse 12 again. And they shall wander from sea to sea and from north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord Yahweh and shall not find it. Okay, you're going to be seeking the man of the Lord, man. You ain't going to find him. And if you do find one, guess what? Scripture says that the Lord's going to make our tongues cleave to the roof of our mouth. We're not going to have nothing to tell you but judgment. And that day shall the fear, and that's pretty much the point right there. I'll leave it right there. So yeah, this is where we at. All right. A prophecy is speaking. Prophecy is speaking. Right? And hey, for those that want to be ignorant, hey, scriptures tell us. Let me close out with this. I think that's where is that at? 1 Corinthians 14. Bear with me. There it goes. The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 38, and it reads, but if any man be ignorant, right, let him be ignorant. You want to keep disregarding prophecy? You want to keep pushing it off, ignoring it, staying unaware of what's happening. You don't want to know. You're not in the know. Hey, you're gonna get caught slipping. The Lord's coming like a thief in the night. And if you're not paying attention, you're gonna get devoured by prophecy. I'm actually gonna close out with this right here. This tablet is slacking. Let's close out with this right here. See, they said there will still be internet issues with some of these browsers. And I'm experiencing it right now with KJV. This shit's lagging. Right? We'll close out with this right here. The book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 1, and it reads, "But of the times and seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you." Why? Because the brethren are well aware. The true brethren. Okay? They're well aware and they're considering. Okay? Because you got individuals that are around that are calling on the Lord, that are doing the work, that are half-ass doing their lessons, right? That are not truly paying attention. You see? They're not really paying as much attention as they should be. If you knew what they were doing on their downtime, you'd be like, yo, he's a man of the Lord? All right? But anyways, but of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night, man. The Lord's going to come creep up. And it's going to come in the form, it's going to come in stages. The Lord's not going to just pop up in the sky. No, it's going to come in stages, situations like this. Okay? It's levels to this thing, man. You know, through the process of prophecy, all right, the reality, okay, is going to show itself of what times that we're truly in. You see? How close we truly are. All right? Going back to 2 Ezra 9, right? Measuring the times diligently. Right? For yes, I'm going to read it again. 1 Thessalonians 5 and 2. For yourselves know perfectly, right, that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them. And travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Okay? Because they were ignorant of the times that they were in. They were ignorant at the reality of prophecy. But very, very soon, our reality is going to become you people's reality, man. And it's right at the door. All right, we can smell it. You see, as close we are to salvation, right? We're that much closer to the destruction, because it goes hand in hand. You see, it goes hand in hand, man. All right, so yeah, that's it, Akiyam and Akwath. You know, that's the point. Hey, you already know. Again, Cloudflare went down. It's still acting up as I'm experiencing it with KJV. It's lagging, but needless to say, the grid was affected. All right, and through the Spirit, again, I had mentioned those data centers. There was a lesson we did not too long ago, going into these data centers, sucking up a lot of energy. All right, because they're operating off of the grid. All right, Esau in his selfishness and his greed and his lack of wisdom, he's just connecting it on in. You know, he's wiring them motherfuckers up series. You know, with the grid. Just to get the ball rolling, man. Not realizing the grid can't take it. And again, experts had mentioned it. They're looking at the data. They're like in a year or so, we out of there, man. All right, your genius of a president is about to block this whole shit out. All right, and again, we're seeing this thing. Hey, this thing is happening, man. All right, the Babylon's looking shaky. It's looking fragile. All right, she's on her deathbed. All right, but we're gonna keep watching. All right, through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai, Lord willing. You know, we're gonna stay on our watch through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai, and report as we go. All right, and Lord willing, Yahweh Shemel Shai continues to, you know, speed up the days. You know, as we pray for shorter ones, man. Hey, Lord willing, you beloved Akiyam and Akwath were edified and spiritually fed through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai, and Lord willing, you were informed. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Chodash. Double honors to the beloved elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. Again, Lord willing, you beloved Akiyam and Akwath were edified, spiritually fed, and informed. All right, Lord willing, you were informed, man. Hey, Shalom.